Hey, everyone. We are back again. Thank y'all for joining us. We are Women into Networking. Win here with our Win introductions. I'm going to introduce another fabulous woman in power. I believe that my connections in business had just been growing, and I've been getting higher and higher, and how I've been going up that connection level, right? That ladder where you see people doing big things, and you're like, whoa, I've never met someone like this before. And Corinne is one of those individuals. I actually met her through our WIN community. We call her basically like a vetted resource, right? Virgin Hair Fantasy, Jane Harris. She's absolutely
Love her.
amazing. Absolutely amazing. And I listen, I don't do it any justice, but I did get her perucas, y'all. I just don't do my hair well. But she does a lot of amazing things where she beautifies women in so many different ways, inside and out. She shares her story. And because of my connection with Jane Harris, I was able to go to an event and meet Corinne. And Corinne, I want you to tell everybody what you do. Like, tell them, how
Mhm,
who you are, first of all, and how you serve people in
mhm.
the world. I'll pass it over.
All right. Thank you so much for this amazing opportunity to meet your community. My name is Corinne Duke LaSalle. I like to start off by saying I am from the Caribbean. I was born in Trinidad. I grew up in New Orleans. And in 2005, due to Hurricane Katrina, I ended up here in Atlanta. So, Atlanta is what I affectionately call home, but my heart is always in New Orleans, always in New Orleans. When I moved here in 2005, my love for thrift shopping, it just kind of blew up. I began really letting people know about thrifting because back in high school when I thrifted, it was not something you would share. I started thrifting like in the 90s, okay? And it was something that my mother taught me how to do, as a way to save money, right? But it wasn't something you told your friends and say, hey, girl, let's go to the thrift store because you were kind of embarrassed because you didn't want people to see you in there because there was a kind of like a little stereotype that you're poor, you're homeless. Why would you go thrifting? Why would you go to a thrift store to shop? So anyway, as I, working here in Atlanta, always loving to dress up and look really good for work, that attracts people, and they start asking you questions about, well, girl, how come you get into, all these nice clothes? And I told my coworkers, and it became to a point where we would go to the thrift store on our lunch break to go, to go shopping. So that led into me starting a Facebook community. I started the group in 2011. And that was a way, again, to just kind of get a group of people together, share resources. And fast forward, we now have 70,000 members in our Facebook community from all over the country. So I like to think of myself as, that person that gathers resources, helps people, but I use fashion as a way to attract people because we all know that one way to start a conversation is, to compliment, especially a woman, compliment her on her clothes, ask her where she got it from, and that conversation starts, and you just kind of connect over clothing. But the beauty of the community started in 2020 during the pandemic. And that is really where I understood what my community was, I guess, growing up to become. In 2020, during the pandemic, we opened up the platform to allow our members to sell their clothing, things that they had in their closet, they no longer loved, as a way to make money. Because, during the pandemic, there were a lot of people losing their jobs, right? And it was just a way to kind of block out what was going on and still, have some type of sense of, we're still a community. Even though all of this is going on, it was a little escape. And fast forward 4 years later, we have a lot of the women in the community who have turned this into a full-time business, including myself. I was able to resign from my job and to do this full time. So I like to think I paved the way for a lot of our ladies to start a business without a lot of overhead. A lot of us, always dream about owning a legacy that we can pass along to our children. We always want some kind of way to save money for, vacation, pay off some bills, and being able to sell clothing that you have in your closet, or maybe when you go out thrifting. It's just such an easy, kind of a no-brainer way to earn some extra income. So, in a nutshell, that's me.
I'm so intrigued. I shared the screen because I just wanted to
Mhm.
just kind of touch on what it looked like in your community base. You have 71,000, not
Oh,
70,000. Let's correct it.
yeah,
Okay.
let's count everybody. Let us make sure we count everybody. Absolutely.
They're all
Yeah.
there. And, I have my membership pending on one of the accounts. I think I
Oh,
followed from one account and I went on another account. And so, listen, y'all join there because I love what you're talking about. And this is what I was, and I'm going to tell y'all my experience and how I met Corinne because
yeah.
I just met her. And then afterwards, I was like, we got to get on the live. Like, it wasn't even a question,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And I trusted you because Jane knew you, right? And let's just talk about community and connection. When
Oh,
you
wow.
are, that word of mouth and that connection to people really gets you in the doors quicker. And you get that less vetting, right? People are like, okay, well, if she trusts you, I trust you. And Jane was speaking so highly about you. She was like, do you know what she has done for me in my business? And so I do want to dig a little bit into that because I know
Mhm.
you've already hinted towards how many lives you've changed over time.
Mhm.
When I think about some of the things I want to dig into with you, because y'all listen, if you have questions about thrifting, ask ask now. Like this is
Yeah.
the time.
Yes.
I have the
This
owner.
is the
She has
time.
over 70,000 followers. She has 71,000 followers in her group now where people are literally looking to and Corinne, if you want to drop your link in the comments, you can do that
Mhm.
too. And it gives people an
Absolutely.
opportunity to just grow with whatever they're doing. I want to dig a little bit deeper into the thrifting aspect because that's an area where I personally like. I'm gonna lie, like me and my mom and my family, like every now and then we go to Goodwill back in the day, get some clothes, get some cute clothes, right? Especially like when I was going to college, and she was like, "Listen, like,
Right. Right. Right.
like,
Right.
like we got to make a deal here because you need things, for your education, for your career. Like there are just so many elevations there. And so I
Mhm.
want to hear more about that. But let's talk about the embarrassment part.
Oh,
You said
absolutely.
it. You
Um,
started with it. How did that change though? Like when did it change?
I mean, after going to the store and just seeing all that was there, I'll tell you the true story how my mom got me into the store. I got my very first job at Popeyes, and I had to get like the uniform. They would give you the top, but you had to wear black pants, right? So she's like, instead of going to the mall, go to the thrift store and look for pants. I'm like, I'm going to the thrift. I'm not going into a thrift store. She's like, Corinne, that is how you would save money. My mom always would like thrift for me and bring clothes for me, but I would never go in. No, absolutely not. I don't want my friends or anyone to see me in there, but I didn't have a choice. My mom told me to do it. I went into the store and I was just blown away by all of the amazing fashion and the price points. Back then it was really, really cheap. It was very, $2.99, $3.99. Um, so that is what's really like being surrounded by all of this fashion that was affordable, because I love to dress. Like that is, one of the things that I enjoy doing. So again, just a few of my friends would know, and we would call it fashion fair. We would not say the thrift store. Oh, we're going to fashion fair. So that was like our little the term that we would use to go shopping. So a few of my friends, we would go, And I think the community that we were in, it was like, hey, but you're not like telling each other that, I got this from the thrift store. But we would see each other and it was like, hey, shh, don't tell anybody. Yeah. So, but I think today, like, it is so, um, it's very popular, obviously. I see a lot of younger kids, and it really warms my heart to see that, even though they're taking all the good stuff. But it really warms my heart to see these younger kids that are into thrifting, the ones that are actually making a business out of it. Like, if I knew what I know now back then, I would be a billionaire. So it's really good to see that. But today I don't think too many people are embarrassed. It's almost like a badge of honor to say, this, I got this for $5. I got my purse, I only paid $10. It's definitely a badge of honor and pride to say that you've saved money. Whether it's clothing, your home decor, I mean anything, people enjoy telling others how much they've saved on their things. Yeah.
This is so intriguing to me. This is so intriguing to me. I have not told a lot of people this part of my story, but y'all listen. I told y'all, like me and my mom every now and then back in the day, like we go to Goodwill or something like that, right? But when I got into
Right.
college, and I still wanted to be like how you're talking about. I wanted to be the girl that wore all the nice stuff and had the
Right.
expensive. Like you really do kind of go with the pressure of like whatever's happening socially. But I think as you get older, you realize it's okay to be thrifty. Like it's actually,
Mhm.
being fiscally responsible, and you don't need to impress anyone. I love the fact
Right.
though that, the kids nowadays, like they're starting younger.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Yes.
do you
Yes.
think that matters more? Like, because I don't know if a lot of us are like, I'm 42, right? So a lot of people are like 40 and up. Like we have bad experiences as we were younger. So we didn't all become thrifters over time. Do you think that we have to kind of have a mental shift in some way, or are we good? Is that what are you seeing?
Yeah, I think the younger kids, one of my really good friends, the thrifting diva, her kids are what, 13 and 11 and 13. They're teens, in the teen area. Hey, Lamana. And it's so funny that now they are asking her, Mom, can you take me to the thrift store? Right? But before, when they were small, it was like, she kind of had to drag them. But now they are asking to go because it's something that they and their peers are talking about. They're seeing it on TikTok, on all the social media. So it's the thing to do. It's the new way for them to shop. And especially with a lot of them getting like their allowance, and a lot of them working, it's a way for them to stretch their money. So I think when you start them young, it's something that they will grow up to do. Like with me, with my mom, she encouraged me at a young age to do it. Reluctantly, I did, but I always did it throughout, high school, college, into adulthood. I'm 40, but I'm 48. I forgot I'm 48. And I will share my husband. He never thrifted until we met, and I introduced him to thrifting, and it was something that we did together. That was like our little, time together. We go to the store, he goes to his section, I go to my section, then we, meet up, we show each other what we get. And it was something fun that we did until now he goes by himself.
Girl, I know
He'll
your
make his
husband
little trip.
loves you.
He goes, he makes his little trip. He'll call me while he's in there. We'll be on FaceTime. He's showing me what he's found. He'll even pick up a few things for me. But it really is something, I think, as the family does it, a family, they say a family that prays together stays together, a family that thrifts, they stay together as well. So yeah, and then with all of the communities that have developed, there are hundreds of Facebook communities Facebook pages that are devoted to the love of thrifting. So, social media is that channel that puts out all the information and gets people excited. People see what others have found at the thrift stores. I do, that's like my mission. I'm sharing the stores. I love to post the prices because I want people to see, hey, you can get that designer brand or that quality brand or this, sequins, vintage. You can find those things at the thrift store for a really good price. So yeah.
Now, do you find that people have like a very easy time after? And I have so many questions, y'all, so excuse me. If y'all don't have questions, I do. But when you go to, like I'm sure you do a lot of, you spend a lot of time with people who are building these businesses and learning about thrifting and what that means for them. Do you find that people struggle around finding good designs when they thrift, or do you have to guide them at all, or are people just like, do they pick it up and they're like, oh yeah, this is where I need it to be? Like, what do you find?
Yeah, it depends on where that person is in their thrift journey. The newbies, they and from my experience, it's like when they see those really cheap prices, they're just picking up everything. Girl, this $1, this $2. And they're just, grabbing everything because it's such a thrill. I know for me, I get, my friends tease me because I say I have to like fall in love with the item. I have to get goosebumps. I have to tingle. And that's how I know that this has to come home with me. So with the newbies, they just excited. Oh my God, I'm saving all this money. So they tend to buy up a lot of stuff without thinking, do I love this item? Is this something that I need? Is this something that I'm going to wear? Right? So as you progress, because after a point, you're going to be like, wait a minute, I have all this stuff that I have not worn. Right? So again, there are a lot of us who are thrift experts, and we share tips and tricks about how to thrift effectively, what to look for. Make sure you're looking for flaws or stains. If it's something that you want to get tailored, are you going to get it tailored? Right? Is it something that you love? So those are the things we try to educate the newbies that are getting into thrifting. Like, these are the things you need to think about before you decide to purchase. It's not solely about the price, right? Because it can add up. Look at my and that's one of the reasons I got into reselling, because I love sourcing so much. I can buy things and resell. So I still get the joy of thrifting, the thrill of thrifting, but I'm able to make, a profit, based on my time and my expertise and things like that. But a lot of us are now able to get all of the information and make informed decisions because there's so much information out there now. So it's easier to thrift now, I think. Yeah.
I was gonna say it's got to be saturated now, but you started in the trenches. Like, you started when people were like really embarrassed to talk about these things. And
Mhm.
we do need trailblazers like you. Like, so shout out to the trailblazers, because y'all, listen, this is proof that your hard work will pay off, right? You just got to stick
Mhm.
to it. But
Oh,
I want to
absolutely.
hear, yeah, I want to hear about that journey to 71K. Like what
Woo.
did that look like for you? And did that impact your love for what you did? Like what was all in there? Just start from the beginning and bring us to where we are now.
It was absolutely a labor of love because there were many times I wanted to just say, you know what, this is a lot of work. This is a lot of work. But as I said, there was a reason for creating the community. We started in 2011, December 9th, 2011. And it was solely a place to share resources. We never sold clothes. Like, we didn't even think about that. It was more or less a place to come and brag. Look what I found. Girl, you have to go to Goodwill. They have their color of the day, 50% off. So that's a lot about what we shared. I also started doing bus tours because people wanted for me to take them. Let's go together. So a great way to do that was to rent a chartered bus. We used to roll into stores like 50 people deep. like a Saturday, spend the entire day. And it brought a lot of, networking again, because now you're meeting with these people that you've seen in your community. So, um, those are the things that we were doing. But managing a group, a Facebook community, it was difficult. It was very difficult. Sole person doing it, working a full-time job, but it was something that I loved. It was something, those genuine connections that were being made in the group, meeting these individuals, face to face, communicating, of course, on Messenger. It just made me feel really, really good. So that's why I always thought about, Corinne, you're doing this because you love it, you enjoy it. So needless to say, when 2020 happened, here I have a group of people who love shopping, and we are at home and we can't go to the thrift store. Like, are you mad? What can we do? What can we do? So what we started off doing was closet purging. So the Thrifting Diva, she has a community. Hers is over 100,000. So there's more of us, right? So she and I, we started that with our community. So each day during the pandemic, March of 2020, we would post a prompt in the group, and it would say, purge your dresses. So for accountability, you had to post a picture of like your pile that you're going to purge and donate or get rid of. So think about it. You're in a group with shoppers and you see pictures on pictures of clothes, and you're like, girl, can I buy that? Send that to me. Don't donate it. And I knew of the Facebook Lives, and I'm like, hey, we can do this consistently. Let's do a live. And my very first person was Talia Leslie. She's my sorority sister. I called her up. I'm like, Talia, girl, do you want to make some money? And we did the first live. I believe it was March 31st of 2020. She was the first person in our community to do the live during the pandemic. And from there, it just spiraled. And we would have lives like seven people like a day, because they each got like an hour, would be going live in the group. And when I realized how much money could be made in an hour, yeah, I'm like, I want a piece. So this was my group, and I say this, all of the work, it was for this moment. It was definitely for this moment.
I saw someone
Definitely.
agree to that. It was Michelle that said, yes, it pays off.
Yeah,
Livy says, hey, Livy, welcome.
yeah. Hi,
Um,
Livy.
you know, I'm loving this conversation. I really am. I never know what's going to come out of these vibes, y'all. So, we still got a little more time with you all. I just want to make sure that, if you're listening and you feel like you resonate with what is being said, because I'm going to ask you another question about this thrifting business. This is different. This is new. Like, honestly, I never knew this world existed. I had no clue until I met Corinne. And now I'm like, wait, what am I missing out on? Because I don't like to, y'all know how I am. I'm like, where's the money? Where's the money? And when you were, and I do like to change people's lives and bring a lot of opportunity, right? So this right here is information, number one, that brings you all opportunity to see, like, is this something I'm interested in? Like, is this something I can add? Like, and also it's a good side hustle. Tell me a little bit
Oh,
about, before we go
absolutely.
into the business part though. I don't want to go deep yet because they want the juice. Like, they want to know how they're gonna make this money. But I want to know, before we
Absolutely.
go there, what was your biggest challenge? Like, what was the biggest challenge you had throughout this process of growth?
Oh, the biggest challenge. Hmm. I guess one of the biggest challenges, once we started, was kind of getting the actual like strategy in place. Because I will admit, the very first time, We did the live. The person that did it, she had to watch the video after the live. Okay, so she's on for an hour. Thank you, Michelle. Michelle is from New Orleans as well. Let me shout out my NOLA family. Yes. So she had to watch the live and look at the comments coming through to figure out who was the very first person to claim the item, right? And then let me go back. She showed about maybe 70 items. Okay? So she had to go back through, figure out who won, figure out their total, their total amount that they had to pay, find their email address, and then send them an email with the invoice. So that it was fun, but that, like, the part to get your coins, that was a bit tedious. So at first, like, trying to figure out, okay, this is what we need to do, because of course you have a lot of people claiming one item. And they're like, well, I was first. No, I was first. No, I was first. So it was like, okay, well, we have to look at the timestamp on the comments, see what was for it. Yeah. So that at first was a headache, but people still wanted to do it. Within like an hour, some of the ladies were making $1,000. Did you hear me?
I'm like, listen, there's a ringing in the back of my ear right now. It's just like, what?
Yeah. So of course you're gonna work. You're like, I'm gonna find these emails. I'm gonna get this information. So I see the person I always give credit to, Dawn Gonzalez. If you can highlight her comment, Dawn Gonzalez. She was one of our first sellers. Of Thrift the Runway is the name of her business, and she, through her research, she found out about a program called Loyal Shops. And Loyal Shops is an automated system that works with live, people that do live selling, and it automatically captures the name of that person who commented first for the item. So what that does, at the end of the live, you get a printout of the person's name, the items that they've claimed, and you can also get their email. So that absolutely helped because you did not have to watch the entire video. So Dawn, look, I give her all the glory. She has saved us, right? So once we found out about that, yeah, so that was to answer your question, the struggle was really figuring out how to make this process easier. And there are other levels to Loyal Shops now where you don't even have to manually send out an invoice. So again, it's making everything easy with this. But yeah, absolutely.
No, I'm just like, I'm in awe of it because, girl, what you had, you
Oh
waving,
yeah,
girl. You like telling you like, get the fan
yeah,
on
yeah,
something.
yeah. We're gonna.
Listen,
I don't know what
y'all,
happened there.
I'm just cracking up because this is so good. Shout out to Dawn, because we do need strong people. This is why I love community, because I was actually on the phone with someone earlier and said, if y'all see something, say something. Like this is what it's about, because
Right,
we build better
right.
together. And so if Dawn would have never said, listen, I ain't playing with y'all. Like, I need to get my coins and I need to like get it now. Then, we wouldn't be here talking about how successful all these other individuals have been. So shout out to Dawn. Shout out to individuals who showed up for you and just really made sure that you had all those tools and resources. Because honestly, like how Shannon Savoy says, she's like, you the big dog. You have to make decisions every day, make the community move. You have to set things up. And also you got to pay for stuff. Like, people don't understand, like, this stuff requires a lot. So I also want to, I love this journey to 71K. Did you know that you were going to hit it at a certain mark, or was it just like, we're here? Like,
Yeah, because before the pandemic, I was at maybe like 40, maybe 40 something thousand. So, during the pandemic, it grew because people are like, what's going on in this group? So we actually moved the live selling from within the group to the page, to the actual page, because that's where, because of Dawn and telling us about loyal shops, you had to have a business page, which I always had a business page. So we would do the lives on the page. So by doing that, like, more people would see it. And again, my community was like the first one to really do this. So as it began growing, and my business partner Ayana and I, we actually did a boot camp, and Dawn was a part of that boot camp as well. We had, I believe it was maybe 12 ladies who wanted to, take their business to another level. And Ayana and I, we did it was 90 days of intense work on, learning about promoting your business, learning about Facebook groups, Facebook page, how to to get your audience, how to build your community. And the ladies that have taken our course, we've had two groups, are definitely still here, and they're killing it. But you have to be serious about this. You can tell those that are making it a business and those that are just there to just get, a couple of dollars, which is fine, because there is opportunities for everyone. Like, this is something anyone can give a try. You can start with the clothing that is in your closet. And I know, Allegra, I know you have some pieces that you have not worn that are in so good condition
Girl,
you can
I
sell.
have to say that. I mean, I was about to say that because I do. And a lot of times, when you go shopping, sometimes I shop off of, like, I got to be careful because we shop for our emotions sometimes, like we're feeling a certain
Right.
way and we just buy stuff. Like, I mean, I got some designer bags I've never worn, like, just
Mhm.
things that are just not really doing anything. And
Right.
I think that
Right.
that also adds to, like, clutter and hoarding and
Mhm.
stuff, right? Because you start to actually devalue what you have because it's just
Right.
there.
Mhm.
I love this conversation. Thank y'all so much for your ads. Dawn, you've been amazing. I see all of the shares, and I just, I know that we're gonna be ending in a little less than 20 minutes because I'm very mindful of time, and I want to make sure that we get
Mhm.
the best in this live session, because this is going to be on record, so y'all can go back and listen to it later as well. But and share with your friends and family. But I really want to dig into this business side, because I'm sure people are like, okay, so how do I get into the thrifting business? Like, we know that you have been teaching people for years, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
What would you tell someone would be that first step if they're like, oh, this is interesting? What would be that first step?
Yeah. So if you're interested in turning your love for thrifting into a business, I want you to know that it can be done. It can be done. One of the first things that you want to do before you go out and just buy stuff to sell is to start from what you have. I'm going to tell you guys, this is my closet slash office, but it's also where I keep my items to sell. So I'm not hoarding. This is stuff that I sell, okay? But I want you, if you're interested, go to your closet. You should have about 20 to 30 things that you can sell, whether it's shoes, earrings, purses, blouses. I am sure that you have about 30 things that you can sell. You want to make sure that, most importantly, that the items are in like really good condition. Even though we love thrifting, we want good stuff. We want good quality pieces. So make sure it's still items that, I like to think of it as something you would be proud to give to your best friend. We don't give our best friends trash. At least I don't. So you want to make sure it's things that you would be proud to give your best friend. And once you have those items, that's a good place to start. Okay. Then what I would suggest that you do is to watch a few of the live sales that are going on, just to get an idea of how it is done from a consumer or a shopping standpoint. Look at, how it's presented. Look at the price points that are, being used. Look at the types of items that are sold, and also shop so you can get a sense of the process of what it's like to be a shopper. So after you've done that, you've kind of seen, okay, this is what I can do. Reach out, feel free to reach out to me. Shameless plug. I do offer coaching. I do have some videos on my YouTube channel if you wanted to watch that. Ayana and I, we've done a ton of videos on, selling in the community. So those are available. But if you wanted like a one-on-one, I am available to assist you with that. But the most important thing is knowing that it can be done. um, there are platforms like mine and others that are out there where you will be able to go live to that community, and from that community you can build your own, your own community. So that, in a nutshell, I hope that encouraged you to think about it. Again, if you did like a 30-minute live, let's say you had 30 items that sold, right? And you priced your items, let's say for math's sake, we're going to say $10, right? So within 30 minutes, you have $300 in sales. Who is making $300 in 30 minutes at their job, at their 9 to 5? What can you do with $300 right now, right? 60 minutes, $10 an item. You've sold 60 items. That's $600, right? So it can definitely happen.
Listen, I just brainstormed about 20 outfits in my closet, like as you were speaking, like, okay, I'm grabbing that, I'm grabbing that. Sometimes it's an awareness piece. For me, I don't even think about these things. And now that you're mentioning it, I'm like, okay, this is so good. And I'm glad you plugged the coaching part in, because I was going to get to that. I don't think I've ever been
Mhm.
successful as much with something without a coach, right? Without someone to really consult me through that process, right? We have a lot of things in the pandemic that happen, y'all. So don't get it twisted. Like, coaches are here to guide you. And if we kind
Mhm.
of let, like, I know a lot of people are like, oh, everybody's a coach now. That's fine. But, you see a lot of those things have washed away.
Mhm. Mhm.
The coaches that are still here are obviously giving you results. And so I want to encourage people to start actually reaching out for support when you feel stuck.
Yeah.
Because I personally feel like starting off is great, right? And I'm going to be starting myself because I'm like, I'm wondering about this. This is such a curiosity to me. And
For
one thing I
real.
want to highlight too, and I don't think people understand what you mean by like this love of thrifting turning it into a business. I watched you behind the scenes of a wedding show. Okay, like we went to Jane had her perucas
Mhm.
out, and they had this whole show with these beautiful ladies walking out on this runway and showing off these amazing beautiful gowns that you would wear at your wedding. And you
Mhm.
brought your clothing, and they were featured on the runway. Like,
Oh yeah.
who gets to get their
Yeah. And I themed it my wedding collection, because a lot of brides don't think about those pieces that they need for those important wedding events, like their rehearsal dinner, the engagement party, um, the clothing they need for their honeymoon. Like, you need to be, for every event, you need to be looking amazing. So those are outfits that a lot of brides don't really think about until maybe the last minute, but you can get those things through thrifting. That's another way to save money with your wedding, is getting your outfits from, consignment stores, thrift stores, the live sellers that we have in our community. Um, those are some things to consider. Also, as you're talking about weddings, you can make some money to buy your clothes, right? By selling what you no longer love. So, I have a few of my friends. If they, oh girl, I gotta go out of town. Let me do it. Let me do a live real quick, right? I need to pay a bill. Let me do a live. So it's ways. This is an opportunity to make sure that you have a way. Like if you needed some extra money, you have a way to do that. It's in your closet. That money is sitting in your closet. So you can make it a business, or you could just make it an opportunity to, to raise some money that you may need for, for you or for your family. Mhm.
This was
Yeah.
absolutely amazing. Y'all listen. I want to tone this down a little bit because we do have a few more minutes, and I want to get some behind the scenes. I did not look at the woman behind the brand in this interview, right? I did not dig that deep into Corinne today. I'm sure you all would love to know so much more about Corinne. Maybe she'll join us on
Hmm.
another live stream and we'll talk more about that. But I'm really glad that we were able to dig deeper into what you do, because I was so curious. The features of your attire on the runway, and you would think like, okay, well maybe they were just featured because maybe she was just a special guest. No, like these outfits were nice, like they were really nice,
Oh yeah.
and I was just very impressed by
Thank
how good
you.
they looked. I was like,
Right.
what?
You
Like
would
you
have
would get
never
that as,
thought
and then you're talking
they
about
came from a thrift store.
never. And
No.
I'm just like, okay, so she
Mhm.
has the gold. She knows where to find this stuff. She knows where to guide you. She knows how to make decisions on, how to do this thing. So I love that you're expressing all these things. Now, what does the future look like for you when you're
Ooh.
looking at, how far you've come and what you've accomplished and all the people that have grown with you? Like, where do you see yourself in the future?
In the future, I am praying and, faithful that I will still be doing what I love, which is, continuing to grow the community, to share that love of thrifting, to share that you can turn this love into a thriving business. Um, it's something that I enjoy doing. I want others to know about it. So I will continue to grow my community, to get more people involved. And I want, a lot of people think that, oh, you have all of these people. Ooh, my computer's not plugged in. Um, you may not, well, why are you sharing? Because I want everyone to know, like, what God has for you is for you, and no one can take that away. He's given you gifts that you can use. And as long as you use them the way that he wants you to use them, you're going to thrive no matter what, may come your way. That's a song. No matter what will come your way, you're going to thrive. So don't think that there's too many people doing it, right? Because when we go to the grocery store, there's an entire aisle with bread, all types of flavors, multigrain, pumpkin, potato bread. There's so many options. So think of this like you are someone's option. Not everyone loves selling on my platform. Not everyone loves Corinne, and that's okay because there's someone else that you may love that fits, your personality. You want to learn from them, and that is okay. So please don't think it's oversaturated. If this is something that you are truly, let me plug in my computer, something that you're truly passionate about and you want to do it, I cannot stress that it can be done. It is hard work, but with hard work comes a lot of rewards. I was able, with my husband's blessing, I was able to resign from my job, and I've been doing this for 4 years, and it is definitely changed my life. Being able, my husband and I, to support ourselves by working really hard with our businesses. It's really a joy. Being flexible. Like today, I was able to go have lunch with my mom. Like back in the day, oh, mom, I'll have to wait till the weekend to see you now. When she's off, I'm like, mom, I'm coming. Let's go hang out. And it's really a good time for me in this season. So I just hope it continues, and I'm excited. I'm excited about the future.
Now, I know that I asked that about the future, and we didn't dig too much into the personal as agenda. But I said earlier, I said your husband must love you, girl, because one thing that my dad always says that he loves about my mother is that she's not expensive, right? Like like
Wait,
so taking
wait,
him
wait.
thrifting and then sharing that. Well,
I don't
oh,
know
okay. I'm sorry. I spoke too soon.
because there's still a few things that we can't get in the thrift store.
Okay, never
But no,
mind.
but no,
Never
he does.
mind.
But no, he does.
I just think it's so cool.
Yeah, yeah, but
Yeah.
it's something that we both enjoy doing that, and I'm so happy that I was able to kind of introduce him to that world that he never really, I wouldn't say he didn't know it existed, but being able to like figure out like, wow, this is what it's all about. And it's something that we enjoy, especially when we're traveling. Like on the agenda, it's like we have to hit up a few thrift stores wherever we are. In a new town, we are checking it out. And he is game. Like, okay, babe, let's go.
Wait. Wait, are y'all like making a list before you go on your travel plans? Like, do y'all? Oh my God,
Well,
is it in the itinerary?
oh yeah, he knows. He knows. He knows. Like when we're driving and he sees one, he knows. He knows. Yeah. So
Oh God,
it's really good. It's really good. Hey, hey,
God,
lovely.
listen.
Good to see you.
Lovely says hello. Dawn's been
Nice.
here probably since the beginning.
Yes. And Lovely is
Just
one of the sellers. Big Love's Dollhouse is the name of her business, and she's one of the sellers within the community. So like I said, there's hundreds. My group, I have a group of sellers that have sold on my page that are currently sellers, past sellers. I have over 500 in my group. So over the past 4 years, yeah. So there are hundreds of us. Of us.
oh my God, how do you keep up? I'm sorry, this is not supposed to go too long, but I just have one more question. I'm like, how do you keep up with that? Like,
Yes, yes,
what
yes.
is your
And I do
sauce?
want to plug, yeah, and I do want to plug something that we've done with the community because of um the success that we've had within the resale, the online live selling, that at the end of the year we host the thrift ball and award ceremony. So this will be the third year in December. And what it is, it's an opportunity for all of us to come together to really like say, damn, we have done a really good job. And the community votes for, the best of the best. We have the category for the best live seller, the best thrift style influencer, the best online boutique, thrift sister of the year. So this has really become much more than I could ever really dream of, because now we're inspiring so many others to do this. And that end of the year ceremony really means a lot, because many of us, we've never met in person, but we've seen each other on live. We've talked to each other in Messenger. So when that event happens and it's like, girl, hey, you get to like hug on that person, see them, and like you're real, like you're a real live person. So that's truly the beauty of all of this. And this all happened because of the love, of fashion and of thrifting. To think that that happened because of this. So yeah,
Man,
simple.
this was a great interview.
Thank you.
Thank y'all for being here. And again, Corinne, thank you for joining me. We do these live streams to educate our community about
Yeah, this
educate our
time
community
I
about
can't believe, yeah, I can't believe what was created from the pandemic. It's yeah, it's wild.
it's just it's absolutely crazy, but it's amazing and rewarding. And so congratulations again.
Thank you.
For those of you who are still listening, make sure that you are following Corinne before you leave this live, right? Get into her space,
Yeah.
join her Facebook group. And
Okay.
for your ball that you have, can you plug it real quick? What time
Mhm.
of the year? How can we find out more about it before we jump off this live? That way we can see all the beautiful faces in real life too. Because I mean, for community to community, I'm gonna tell y'all that I thrive when I see someone that I've been speaking to online for months, and then I see you in person, and the vibe is real. And I
Mhm.
think that is so important to have. Can you just plug that for us before we get off?
Yes. So
Oh,
the
there it
ball
is, right
is,
there.
yeah. So that's the website. If you go to the thriftball.com, you can subscribe to get updates. We are actually next Tuesday. We call every Tuesday Thrift Ball Tuesday because that is when we get a lot of updates about the thrift ball. So we are resuming that on next Tuesday. We go live just like we're doing here today, and we give updates. But the ball is Saturday, December the 7th. I'll put that in here. Saturday, December the 7th. The hotel has been selected. It will be announced next Tuesday. So if you join us, then you will know more details. December 7th in Atlanta. And the community voted on the date and the location. But Atlanta has won. This is the third year that we've been in Atlanta. So we'll see what happens for next year. But this year, Atlanta, December 7th. And it is open to the public. It's not just for, like the sellers in the community. It is open to the public. It's a great way to meet your favorite reseller that may be in attendance. So we're looking forward to that event in December. Oh, the theme is Harlem Nights. The theme is Harlem Nights. That's the
I love
theme.
that
So
so much. Y'all, you got to make
thank
sure you
you.
come to this ball. I'm going to put it on my calendar because y'all know if it's not on the calendar, it ain't happening. Okay. So
Yes,
I want to make
yes,
sure that we lock this thing in. Join the Facebook group. That's something that I would highly recommend because everything that you've instructed us to do today is all encompassed in that arena. And for those of you who enjoyed this live stream, please let us know in the comments. Let us know what more you would like to hear because we may have a part two of this. You never know. But we always love to hear feedback from our community members, same as you as a community leader, so much, Corinne. That's why I think I'm just so in alignment with you and what you're doing. And I'm just really excited about just partnering up on these live streams and giving people what they need to hear. Because, baby, the
yeah,
money that you are
yeah.
talking about on this live stream today, I'm about to log off, get in your community, and find out who's making $1,000 a day. Who can I, I learn from today? Who's teaching today? Okay.
Yes, yes, yes.
But thank you so
It
much.
was
Any
definitely,
final words of wisdom?
yeah. I'm sorry, Allegra.
Was
What was the last?
I was cracking up. I was laughing too
Oh,
hard and
okay.
I couldn't get off fast enough, y'all. I was saying, leave us with any words of wisdom you have before we jump off.
Whew. Um, I'll always, I'll say what I said earlier, that what is for you is for you. I cannot, stress that enough. A lot of times we see other people's journey and think, man, I will never, get to that. I'm doing everything that I need to do. Why can't I get to that place? Your time is coming. It is coming. Just stay the course, continue what you're doing, put those blinders on, do not get distracted, and you will see the harvest of your labor. It is going to come. It took, what I started the group in 2011, 9 years later, right, is when, bam, not, yeah, 10, 10 years. I can't count, but in 2020, math was not my favorite subject, but in 2020 is when, like, wow, all of this hard work was for this opportunity, not just only for me, but for the members and other people outside of the community. So keep working hard, whether it's the live selling or just anything that you do. just know that your hard work, and I think someone said that earlier, your hard work is going to pay off. Do not stop. Do not stop. Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a beautiful way to end this live stream, y'all. Make sure that y'all definitely leave your comments. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Join
Thank
Thrifting
you.
Atlanta, join the Women into Networking WIN community. Make sure that you are thriving in community and connections. And we will see y'all on the next live. Peace out. Have an
All
amazing
right.
night.
Thank